as a marathoner, my
Wow.
body would quit on me long before my mind would. And I trained my mind to be super tough, right, in the hard times. So I think through a lot of journaling, which I'll talk a little bit about later, putting yourself in rooms with you to say, hey, it is okay to be broken and I can fill my cup and then go fill other people's cups. I think there's a million ways to deal with healing.
Welcome to Healing with Hena. And today's guest is Kendra. Your last name is Cook?
With an E, yes.
Yes, Kendra Cooke. And we have an amazing, inspiring guest with us today. So, Kendra, just share a little bit about you, your background, and what do you do for a living?
Thank you so much, Hannah, for asking me to be a part of this today. By trade, have been in the real estate industry since I was right out of high school, so a really long time. But spent about 30 years in the sales department of real estate, if you will, all the way from the receptionist desk up to owning my own brokerage, and then I sold it and became a coach throughout my career and became an independent coach. And so that's what I do now is I coach women through empowerment and clarity in their chaos, eliminating disorganizational chaos. I do that through retreats, one-on-one coaching, and then mastermind coaching. I
What kind
travel
of
and
retreats?
speak. Yeah, I'm
What
sorry.
kind of retreats?
It's an empowerment retreat. So we come together to really unpack a topic. So the topic could be, are you the CEO of your life? Or it could be how to have difficult conversations, starting with yourself. How do we stop talking negatively to ourselves? Or maybe it is stepping into your power and something is holding you back and figuring out what that limiting belief is. So it's really transformational retreats where we empower women to find their voice and make the first action step to move into their power.
Oh, I'm so excited because that's my passion in life is to get women together, empower them. And I do just like a 2 day, like a weekend retreat
Mhm.
and help them overcome stress, mainly stress management, because as women, we're always running, running and running, and we're not filling our own tank
That's exactly
and
right.
running on empty a lot
Mhm.
of the time.
Yes.
So, I include massage and facial and yoga, meditation. So you really unwind and also learn coping mechanism to balance life and work.
I love it. Yes, we do a lot of those same things at ours as well.
Awesome, awesome. So our topic of our podcast is healing. What does healing mean to you, Kendra?
It's a great question when you pose that to me. Healing for me is working on the inside so you can radiate that on the outside. So for me, healing has come at different times in my life. I went through an abusive marriage and had to walk away from that. And if anybody listening has been through that, unfortunately, not only do your families divide, but a lot of your friendships divide. And so being heartbroken, not only from losing the marriage, but losing your community and your peer group and completely starting over. And so healing for me started on the inside, but also just radiating that on the outside so people know that I'm not a project or I'm not a victim. I'm broken sometimes, many times in my life have I been broken, but healing for me is starting on the inside and then really trusting myself to move through hard stuff, right? I think we are built for hard stuff. I rely on spirituality, I rely on fitness. I'm going to talk about a technique that people can leave here with today that was really a big part of my healing journey.
Oh, so really, just to recap with my audience, so healing really means moving through hard times, moving through hard projects, and, hard times in your life,
Yeah.
and how you move through it is the healing.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because we can stay stuck there, right? We
Oh,
can
yeah.
give up, we can quit on ourselves. And I tell people all the time, bet on yourself, right? We are very resilient humans. when we allow our mind to overtake our bodies. As a marathoner, my
Wow.
body would quit on me long before my mind would, and I trained my mind to be super tough, right, in the hard times. So I think through a lot of journaling, which I'll talk a little bit about later, putting yourself in rooms with you to say, hey, it is okay to be broken, and I can fill my cup and then go fill other people's cups. I think there's a million ways to deal with healing, but yes, we have to move through it. It's the
Yeah.
only way you can heal is on the other side of the brokenness.
Absolutely. Share a little bit about your journey, like where you were and how you got here today. And just to, we'd love to hear your healing journey.
Yes. So I started, as I said, I moved from a small farm town to a big city, thought I was going to go to law school, became a receptionist at a real estate office. And really, that was the game changer of my life. I always wanted to be an attorney, but somebody saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. So that was really step one of my journey. And I encourage people when you see that in other people, let them know that you see those things because that literally changed my life and put me on a path in real estate. As I said, I had a broken marriage very young, and it could have set me back, it could have defined me. But what I really realized I could do is I could push through it and I could grow my career. I since have built that business, sold it, became a business coach because somebody coached me through some hard times. I have a story in my memoir that I talk about. I was working very hard. You'll never outwork me. I work hard, but I didn't always have the
Right.
answers that I needed. And so I got us in a very lucrative financial place. And then I took us to the bottom of that lucrative place and, had to get somebody to come in and help me figure out what I didn't know. So I think asking for help is another part of the healing journey, right? Not being afraid to being authentic and vulnerable and saying, hey, I don't have all the answers. Somebody can help me. So I went through journaling, went through coaching, and now I am an independent person all on my own. I do coaching, speaking, the retreats, but I live where I want to. And I think that's also part of the healing journey. You have to get to a place where you accept who you are and celebrate your victories and go somewhere that brings you joy. And so I live at the beach now. We were just talking about the weather, and I don't like the cold. And so when I got to a position that I healed myself and grew my business, I'm able to live where I want to live and do the job that I want to do. And that's what I wish for everybody.
Oh, that's an amazing story. Awesome, awesome. And what is one healing tool that you were going to share with us that our audience can learn and start using it tonight, tomorrow morning, something to walk away with?
I am an avid journaler, and I mentioned it a few minutes ago.
Mm.
And that was the one thing that started me on my healing journey. Because as I mentioned, when you go through something bad, it could be a business breakup, it could be a relationship breakup, it could be loss of a loved one. And the first thing that we have to do is figure out how to start healing and really where do we go for help. And during my divorce, I didn't know who I could trust, and I felt very vulnerable. And, I shared a story with someone and it got back to the other side of the camp. And I was like, oh, I got to figure out how not to tell anybody what's going on and just keep it in. And that was very hard, just internalizing everything. I was losing a lot of weight. I was not healthy. And somebody said to me, hey, you should just write your thoughts down. And I thought, wow, that's brilliant. And so I tell people that's when I started journaling because it was a safe place. So
Yeah.
if I feel sad, I can be honest and say I feel sad. If I feel lost, I can say that. I can also give myself some grace, right? You weren't great yesterday, but you can be better today. And then I can also tell myself, I'm proud of you. Like you are working hard. You're doing what it's taking to overcome or to push through a bad situation. And I don't know that we tell each other and tell ourselves for sure that we're proud of ourselves. And so that's just a safe space. It's the judgment free zone. Doesn't matter what you say, nobody can judge you because the journal is for your eyes only. And so we have a joke at our house that if I pass away before my husband, he has to burn the journals because everybody in my life has been journaled about at some point in time, right? They've hurt my feelings, they've made me mad, I've forgiven them, I've prayed for them. But it's just really the thing that turned me into the person that I am today. And once I got vulnerable with myself, I was able to seek some counseling and some help to continue me on my journey. And so that's really where I tell people to start, especially women, because we feel like we can't get it all done. We didn't make the best cupcakes. We didn't, show up 15 minutes early. We're not polished and always put together. And we need to give ourselves some grace and realize that we're enough. We're enough.
Yeah.
And journaling did that for me. So I hope somebody listening to this would take that tool, start with a notebook. A lot of people record them on their phones, right? On the memo on their phone, just to give yourself a safe place to record your thoughts every day. I think it will be
That is
healing.
such a amazing tool. I learned journaling almost 20 years ago, and I keep my journal book next to me on my bedside at night because that's when everything is kind of in your head. And I'm like, oh my God. So if we can unload it and write a page or two, then it's like automatically you feel less stress. Automatically you feel kind of healed. You're not upset that much anymore because it's on paper. You
Right.
wrote it.
Yes, and I
And
do mine in the morning because when I have things in my brain, it's a distraction for me throughout the day. So I do my word dump in my journal in the morning to get it out, and then I'm more productive to get more done through the day. And again, then I can be proud of myself because I pushed through it. But a lot of people do journal at night. So you have to figure out which is best for you. Do you need to dump it so you can sleep and reflect on what happened? Or are you a morning person who needs to dump so you can get through your day? But yes, it's a wonderful tool.
perfect, perfect. So I hope our audience enjoyed our episode, journaling, and just writing three things I said you're grateful about, even if a lot is not coming. What are you grateful about today? You know, to write that down. And how does one reach you, Kendra, if they want to get in touch with you?
Yes, so my website is just my name, Kendra Cook, and Cook does have an E. Same thing on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Yes, please follow me, connect. If I can answer any questions for you, would love to do so. Hannah, thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you, Kendra, and thank you, the audience, for listening. Please remember to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode.